So what did you have in mind for? Where did you envision this stuff going on?
So
here?
it all. I mean, here's where it started. Okay, so it literally started like the sun basically just comes whoosh, right overhead.
Okay.
Right. And this whole side of the house was just drenched in sunlight.
Yep.
So, you know, at first I thought, well, the first roof, it's low, it's, you know, if things really go haywire, even I could reach out the window and brush the leaves off, right? Yep. And then these high, you know, so you get good chunks of roof space, it's dead space, it's not being used for anything else. And I'm thinking, what a waste of energy, you know? So that was the first thought. Then it was, you know, where do we go from here?
You're right. So, you know, I did a quick little look with the compass to see where our right angle is, and this is definitely the best side. Obviously,
really?
This is the best way to go because we're
even more so than the front.
And if you want, I'll show you exactly because you have solar declination. We have a 16-degree solar declination here. A little bit of that little roof over there by the solar attic fan.
Yeah.
Up here, it looks like you have enough room to put a couple of panels up high, anyways.
Oh yeah, okay.
Depending on the size of the panels.
Yeah.
If you were to do it down here, you wouldn't want it flat on that roof.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get the angle you need and the efficiency out of them. And I can show you that report.
Okay.
We can change the angle.
Okay.
And you can it'll actually show you the difference in efficiency based on the optimal angle that you want. We'll have to get some measurements because there's different size panels available.
Yeah.
You could probably, looks like you could probably get 3 on the main roof up there.
Yeah.
3 good size panels.
Okay. Ours is in some sense ideal, I says, but you know, why not? I mean, if you can get to a point where it's paying back in 8 years or less, solar panel prices have fallen.
I don't see the 8-year payback.
But
I don't know. You know what? I haven't done it since last year.
Yeah.
And the panels have dropped enough. The new tax incentives, the 30% uncapped, and along with the state, I haven't redone those numbers yet.
Yeah.
I haven't redone those numbers. And there again, until I do that Solar Pathfinder report,
you don't really know.
you're looking at, you look at a solar panel and they tell you the efficiency and how much energy you should put out. They're based on optimum angle, optimum pitch of the roof, optimum positioning.
Right.
This tool takes into account all the angles that you're not exactly due south and you're not exactly at the right angle that you want. You know, those things get factored into there and it gives you a true assessment of how much energy that system can put out.
Yeah.
If you're going to stay here, it makes sense.
Yeah.
If it makes sense. And you know what? It makes more and more sense every day.
Right.
Because, you know, all the things that the government's doing to incentivize us, and then we know that energy isn't going to stay the same. We know it's going to go up.
Yeah,
I mean, it will go up. It will go up. I mean, it's just a matter of time and when, but it will go up. I mean, you know, it always has. It's never gone down as far as I know.
Yeah.
This is called the Solar Pathfinder. This is a little tool that actually determines the amount of actual solar energy available on a site. It shows you shading. It allows you to do a whole series of things like there's a solar declination, which is the magnetic north is not the same as true north. This allows you to factor that into it. What it does is we put this little dome over the top, and if you look directly down at this dome from this side over here, okay, you see the shading of the trees?
Yeah.
We can outline that, or what we do in this case is with the software, we take a picture of this, we outline it, it shows you where your shading is on the thing and gives you a printout of exactly how much solar energy is available on the site. And if you need to remove some trees to increase that, like see this tree right here, if you can see that tree right there in the shading spot, but that may want to be trimmed a little, if you can, that kind of thing. But right now what you're seeing here for shading is not very good, but we're not doing it here. We're going to go up on the roof. Okay. There is some angle things you can put in there. It just makes it a little more complicated to do the process. I'd rather prefer to set it up as close to where it's actually going to be to get a real assessment of the solar energy and the shading issues on it. So this just allows me to punch this into a program and punch in the size of the system, the efficiency of the system, and give you a real life data based on shading and site conditions as to what kind of solar energy you can get out of here. I think the upper roof's definitely going to be better, but get a little bit of afternoon here. So yeah, let me take a look and see what you got down here.
Just watch your step position.
Yep. Chances are a 1500 kilowatt system, you're going to be using that power most of the time. Very rarely will you find this house not, I mean, your refrigerator alone is probably 900 watts. You know what I mean? You can eliminate your refrigerator load. That would be great. I mean, that's a huge load. That's a 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 day a year load that you need. But if you can get rid of that, that's a big one. That's 15 to 20% of your electric bill, just that one load. If there's excess energy, it goes backwards through this meter. There's a couple different kinds. The old ones used to just spin backwards. The new ones, they have a bi-directional meter, so when it's producing, it'll spin one of them, and when you're drawing, it'll spin the other, so they can monitor how much energy you're actually putting back into the grid. They used to not exchange the energy watt for watt. In other words, if you produced a watt of extra power and it went back into the grid, they didn't give you a watt back. They give you a wholesale rate, which is a third of what you pay for power. So if you produce an extra 1,000 kilowatt hours, they'd give you a wholesale rate on that extra power and then recharge you full rate when they give it back to you later on. They've changed that mechanism. Now it's equal exchange, I believe.
Is that state by state determined, or?
And it's not even just state by state. It's state.
Yeah.
It's also municipalities are exempt from a lot of these rules and regulations. Yeah. Like I was talking with these guys earlier.
In this area, you think it's pretty much wide?
Oh, NSTAR and National Grid and all those guys that are on board. It's part of it. They're mandated that they have to do watt for watt, and they have to, go through this process with you. So they're mandated by law that they have to do that.